everybody, and welcome back to Blue Jays Today. We're your boys. We always got something to say about the Toronto Blue Jays. I'm your host, Adam Peddle.
And I'm your host, Nicholas Playlog. The Toronto Blue Jays have officially made a trade with the LA Dodgers. Maybe they were trying to get Teoscar Hernandez back. Not that exciting, folks. We're going to break down what they did, as well as some injury updates with the Toronto Blue Jays. They are starting their series tonight, a 3-game series. We are hoping to keep that win streak going, everybody.
Yeah,
Before we
baby.
get into it, though, hit that like, smash the subscribe button, and of course, let us know your thoughts about all this in the comments down below. Steward Berroa. This is somebody who you probably saw quite a bit during spring training and everything like that. Saw him last year, too. That's right. Yeah, he's got a decent 28 games last year with the Toronto Blue Jays. So he was around. He is no more. He is heading over to those LA Dodgers. Cash considerations is what the Toronto Blue Jays got. Now, I don't think it's actually been specified exactly how much money the Dodgers have sent to the Toronto Blue Jays. I wouldn't anticipate that it is a huge, large sum. But, I mean, Steward Berroa, 25 years old kind of guy, like, maybe had potential.
Yeah, I mean, he was one of those guys. I like to loop him in the tier of, like, the Otto Lopez's, that kind of tier where it's like you're a middle to, like, kind of lower top 10 prospect in the Blue Jays system. And, I mean, let's be honest. Like, there are so many other prospects and so many other guys that play for the Toronto Blue Jays that play in the outfield that are, I love how they also have pinch runner in his bio. He's a pitch runner.
That boy be quick.
I know. That's a first I'm pretty sure I've seen. But point being, guys, there's so many other guys, and you needed to clear up some space on the roster. So sending Steward Berroa over there to the Dodgers is a no-brainer. Especially, the Dodgers, they lost Teoscar Hernandez. He's on the IL.
That's true, actually. I forgot about that.
Right. I know. I thought that's why you're referring to him. Because, they need somebody to play some outfield. And you never know. I mean, look, we've sent over Otto Lopez over to Miami. He kind of became somewhat of a staple guy. Granted, their lineup is very bad. But you never know with Steward Berroa. He might blossom into someone someday. And that's okay from a Blue Jays standpoint.
Yeah, I mean, I know that there's definitely a part of the community on X, on Twitter, that was a little upset to see somebody that, did have potential, like Steward Berroa, get sent somewhere else. And especially when it is just for cash, because, as a fan, you see that and you're like, okay, I see no reward for this right now. I'm hoping that cash is going to help the Toronto Blue Jays later down the line, right? If they need to go out and they need to go sign another, I don't know, Spencer Turnbull type of guy, or, what have you, right? If there is a JD Martinez for, all I care, right? Like,
sure.
If they actually wanted to do that, then that would be great, as well as the fact that Steward Berroa, like you were saying, just wasn't going to be finding himself on this roster anytime soon, unless, of course, there was just a, plethora of injuries or underperformances.
Yeah, exactly, right? And for us getting cash back, and that's kind of all it is like we needed to clear up a roster spot too, right? Because we have so many moving parts kind of coming up. We've had to add people on the 40-man roster recently, and someone had to go, right? And Steward Berroa was one of them. And actually another person who also kind of happened in this transaction was Dylan Tate. He also got designated for assignment too. So he had to get off the 40-man roster as well, because we have a revolving door of guys right now in that bullpen that we just got to keep healthy and keep strong. And Dylan Tate wasn't really doing it for the Blue Jays this year. 5.06 ERA and a whip of 2.438. I won't be shocked if this is kind of I won't be shocked if there's another kind of move like this of a Dylan Tate leaving this team, right? I mean, the Blue Jays, they got right now in their bullpen a bunch of guys back there. Eric Lauer, Braden Fisher, those guys could go probably at any moment.
Yeah, 100%, dude. I mean, and when you get Eric Swanson coming back too, like somebody might need to get sent down. So there will be more moves on the way. We did want to bring up with all of this some of the injury concerns going on right now with the Toronto Blue Jays, because obviously whenever you have injuries, that will spark some of these transactions, some of these moves. Some people are a little concerned about the Alejandro Kirk thing that happened a couple days ago. He left that final game against the Mariners. What was the whole deal with him?
So what happened was it was a backswing, just kind of on a follow through right on the backswing. He got hit in the head. And when you watch the video, we can't play here because of copyright reasons, but when you watch the video, it just kind of like dings him on the helmet. Alejandro Kirk doesn't really fall down, just kind of stunned for a little bit. He played for another inning, and then they took him out as precaution. And then we haven't really gotten an update since then. So that begs the question. We'll probably find out today, because today's game day. That probably begs the question, well, if Alejandro Kirk is out, what does that mean for our cash situation? Well, Tyler Heineman obviously will be your number one guy. And are we comfortable with Tyler Heineman stepping in for Alejandro Kirk for the time being?
I mean, I know that a lot of people have been screaming about Tyler Heineman getting more at-bats. I would be very upset to see Alejandro Kirk, whether it be an IL stint or just out for a couple of days. I mean, I don't think he's going to the IL, dude. Just
based on what we saw.
Yeah, again, it's like unless he got like more concussed or something, like we didn't even notice it.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I would be pretty shocked to see him go there. I would be very disappointed as well to see him do that because he has just started really heating up. The batting average is getting going. Like, it looks like Kirk has really found his swing, so I wouldn't want to take him out at all. That being said, though, if they had to for a couple of games, Tyler Heineman has actually been playing his role as that backup catcher like better than anyone. I know that people have been saying give him more at-bats, give him more time in the lineup. I don't necessarily feel that way just because I think that he's actually thriving right now as that backup guy, as the guy that plays, one every 4 games, one every 5 games. That being said, though, if he did have to step in for a time being while Alejandro Kirk is out, I'm sure it would be just fine.
Yeah, like I like the idea of Tyler Heineman being a surprise to a lot of these like pitchers around the MLB.
Yeah, me too.
You know what I mean? Where it's like, okay, this is Tyler Heineman. Who the hell is this guy?
Easy out.
Easy out. Just pitch him fastballs and he ambushes him. Whereas if he starts getting regular playing time, well, now you got the pitching, the batting coaches on the other teams starting to circle his name and starting to do a little bit more research. So for me, like, that's a quick way for him to get cold, and then, what happens then? He gets in his head, he starts to play bad. I don't want to disturb that, so hopefully Alejandro Kirk is good, because he's also been playing great. You're right there in the middle of that lineup.
Agreed, dude. The middle of the lineup's actually been feasting right now. Kirk, Barger, somebody Springer. That does, Springer. Somebody that does need to get cooking, though, as we've brought up many a time, is Anthony Santander. Now, a little announcement was made by John Schneider the other day about Anthony Santander. Let's talk a bit about that.
Yeah, Anthony Santander. This was, a guy who didn't see the field in Seattle. Literally missed all 3 games, and no one
didn't hurt us.
It didn't
even notice, actually.
Yeah, our offense was actually phenomenal. Wonder. But still, like, a key member of your team just misses the field, and like kind of nothing was really said until John Schneider came out and said this.
Whoa! Time for a quick shout out to the sponsor of this video. Hit your picks and knock it out of the park with Betway. Scan the QR code down below to join the action. Only available in Ontario. Must be 19 years of older to participate. Please play responsibly. Now, everyone, back to the content.
Anthony Santander missed all 3 games of the Seattle series. His shoulder felt cranky, quote, after falling into the right field seats in Anaheim. I actually missed that. I don't know if you saw that either. I didn't see him fall into the seats. Maybe there was a play and he kind of felt something afterwards. So we missed all 3 games, but Santander should be good for Tuesday's game against the Rays, which is today. The manager said this is by Mitch Bannon. Kind of paraphrasing what John Schneider said right there. So that's good news. Now, how do you feel about Santander going back in that 3 spot after you saw Barger absolutely cook there?
Well, listen, dude. I mean, Addison Barger is going to be in the lineup regardless, or at least he should be.
Yeah.
Anthony Santander is very critical to this team's success, though. You don't need us to tell you that we need to see those 44 home runs from him start to materialize at some point with the Toronto Blue Jays. Addison Barger has been great, but similarly to what we just said about Tyler Heineman, I kind of like that Addison Barger is a bit of a surprise right now.
Right,
and you don't want to have people just honing in, focusing on him. I want people to focus in on Anthony Santander. He got paid the big bucks. He is the big guy. He is the veteran. We do need to see him go at some point. It sucks to hear that his shoulder's a bit cranky, because even though he is going to be hopefully in the lineup tonight, you got to imagine that something like that could definitely linger with you for a game or 2. It's May, though. It's May 13th at this current point, so it is now time for... It's Anthony Santander's season now,
That's what it is, right? If you guys don't know, he turns it on in May, so, let's go. And hopefully, he'll be okay, and maybe he can get back on track in this series, back home at Toronto. But again, good thing is, you put him at the 3 spot, well, then that just lengthens the lineup. So, Springer's been vintage George Springer. George Springer's playing like $25 million this season.
Sure, yeah, 100%.
And then you got Barger breaking out, Kirk. Hopefully he's back in the lineup, in that 6th spot. The lineup looks a lot better as of right now.
And if Anthony Santander, can actually start cooking, a big question has been, well, who's going to be that cleanup guy for the Toronto Blue Jays? Addison Barger's hitting the baseball pretty damn good right now. And seriously, like Dan and Buck were talking about that, being like, hey, this guy, third baseman, power slugging guy, put him in the middle of the lineup behind Santander. Now you have a 2-3-4 of Vladdy, Santander, assuming he's doing well, and then Barger's hitting the baseball harder than anyone.
It's a nice spot, actually, putting Barzin. I like that, putting Barzin in the 4 spot, because if you put Springer right behind him, the league knows Springer. And, you know, if I'm dodging Santander, okay, well, what's this rookie? Yeah, he's hit the ball hard a couple times, but, like, what's this rookie really going to do? Attack him and feed him some good pitches.
100%, dude. But that is your latest Toronto Blue Jays updates. We're going to be live for the game this evening. Hopefully, they're going to continue their win streak, get it to 5 games, and get 1 game above 500, which we haven't been for, I think, like two odd weeks now or something like that.
Long time, folks. Hit that like button, subscribe to Blue Jays today. It's only $4 a month to become a YouTube member. Shout out and thank you to all of our current YouTube members. You guys are amazing.
Yeah, thanks so much for watching, everybody. And as always, go Jays, go!